They're not god awful, but these blasters are among the worst I've used this year. This one's not great, but this one shocked me. Let's uncover why I was so wrong about them. Both of these were created by Buzzbee Toys and are sold under the Adventure Force brand. Buzzbee, thank you so much for the free samples, but that's not going to stop me from addressing the issues behind... there's so much. The Triggerfire is a $20 30-round drum blaster that I thought was going to have so much potential. It has a rare firing mechanism, which I'll talk about in a few moments. There's at least 3 good things going on with this blaster. Number 1, for a Buzzbee blaster, this is quite comfortable. There's a lot of ergonomically chiseled plastic to hold on to. Number 2, the drum. Having a high ammo capacity and easy reload access theoretically makes it a solid choice for run and gun Nerf wars. I really like how each individual chamber holds darts snugly so they won't fly out when you're running around. You can also adjust the drum position to help with reloading. The entire drum can be taken out or put back in with this skewer stick thingy, but it's not nearly as convenient as something like the Adventure Force Villainator. Number 3, its unique firing mechanism. You look here, there's no priming handle. You look here, there's no trigger. Actually, that's a lie, the handle is the trigger. This blaster has a dual action priming mechanism / 2-stage trigger. Well, what does that mean? Essentially, pulling the handle here primes and fires the blaster at the same time. So it's like semi-auto firing, but without the use of batteries. Just skipping that step of priming feels like a cheat code and it's a different blasting experience. Most of the time, the trigger is snappy and responsive. I could be missing some, but in the past 9 years, there's only been a handful of blasters with a similar priming mechanism, but their low ammo capacities are absolutely crushed by the Triggerfire's much more useful 30 dart capacity. I had high hopes, so why did the Triggerfire still end up being a flop? Here are 2 reasons. Reason 1. The Triggerfire is Internet Explorer level of disappointment when it comes to range and power. We got around 25 feet of hallway right here, testing it out with Adventure Force darts. Average initial velocity for the Triggerfire is only around 59 feet per second. That's slightly better than Nerf's latest dual action priming mech blaster, but still much lower than the 70 to 80 FPS your standard dart blaster should get. Weak performance is most likely a trade-off with having the convenience of this 2-stage trigger system. Number 2, the Triggerfire doesn't have notable accuracy to begin with, but with no stocks to stabilize your shots, having an impressive aim like Hawkeye is an even more difficult task. If the Triggerfire just had more up to standard performance, then we'd be looking at the great blaster I thought it would be, but for now the technology isn't there. While it's interesting and fairly priced at $20, I don't see why you would ever choose this blaster over the Villainator, which costs the same amount. For $25, the Tetrashot comes with a funky 48 dart belt and a whopping 98 long distance darts, so there should be some value here, but still it's a whole other mess. At least I got 2 good things to say about it. Number 1, just like the Triggerfire, it's quite comfortable to operate. All the handles and grips are easy to use. In regards to that, good work, Buzzbee. Number 2, I can appreciate the innovation effort here. It uses this wacky belt that's segmented into clusters of 4 dart chambers. 48 dart capacity in total is respectable. There's no overly complicated system here, just simply priming the blaster will auto-rotate through the belt. Although the pump action gets heavy at times because its mechanism helps pull the weight of the belt. It's also easy to flip up this door to adjust or remove the belt entirely. But what makes the Tetrashot more disappointing than I thought? I have 3 major complaints about this blaster, with number 3 being the worst. Number 1, the Tetrashot is a clumsy blaster to reload. It's just the natural flaw that belt blasters like these have. Attempting to load in darts while the belt's dancing around is as easy as being 50 tequila shots deep and trying to do long division. Number 2, the belt comes apart way too easily. Just a simple shake will sever its links, and that's something you'd never want to deal with in a Nerf war, or in general. After recording this, I found out that I have one of the early versions of the Tetrashot that came with belts with weaker links. So the ones you can buy in store right now should have better quality belts that shouldn't unclip as easily. Number 3, this blaster is broken. Literally. Watch what happens when I try firing the Tetrashot for the first time. So, let's give it a shot. Am I dealing with a lemon here? Like, you see that, right? The darts are only going like 10 feet away. This is not normal. So obviously this model I own is faulty because when looking at other reviews, its average velocity is around 70 FPS, which still isn't top tier either. I just got unlucky with this one, so you yourself probably won't have to worry about this. I know Buzzbee would have happily agreed to provide a replacement Tetrashot if I asked for one, but honestly this blaster hasn't intrigued me enough to even bother. In fact, both of these Buzzbee blasters were not nearly as fun or practical as I initially hyped them up to be. I thought the same with these blasters, but they actually surprised me. Check out that video on the screen. More than half of my viewers are not subscribed to the channel. What are you waiting for? Press that button for more bread. Thank you for watching, hope you do something great today, and get that bread.